Hi, everyone. I am Owen. I got some really good feedback on yesterday's stream, except for, of course, the boomer, Zionist Christians. Zion. They were like, how dare you? Just check out the comments. I think the stream's already been taken down. It might still be up though. But they're like, they were acting as if I was promoting Islam when I was merely saying that Ben Shapiro was more wicked than Osama bin Laden. And please stop, because don't make me defend Muhammad. Because I can, based on your awful arguments. Just from my family to yours, let it go, okay? I know that y'all feel guilty for donating so much to Prager Force, and once you realize that those people despise you and blaspheme your savior, you then want to attack the person who told you that information. You know what? No, let's break down a couple of your arguments, because you deserve it. E. Michael Jones told me personally, he's my friend, that Muslims and Christians pray to the same God, although the Muslims are on the wrong path. So take it up with that guy, because I don't like those. I pray to the God, the only God of truth. And if the Muslims do that as well, which is what E. Michael Jones told me, he just thinks that they've been mistaken. Take it up with him, okay? And then they said, but Big Bear, you... And then they were calling me an idiot and a liar and a blasphemer. It's all projection, guys. It's because you realize you gave away part of your kid's college fund to Dennis Prager, because you thought that he had your back, even though he worships the Talmud. We'll get to that today. People said, but Big Bear, you cowardly fool. Don't you know that Muhammad himself said he did not know if he was visited by an angel or a demon? Yeah. Guys, don't make me defend Muhammad, but a liar wouldn't have said that. You want to know what Ben Shapiro would have said? It was an angel, and we should attack Iran. The vulnerability of saying you don't know if it's an angel or a demon is what an honest man says. Please don't make me defend Muhammad. Someone else said, God damn you, Big Bear! Muhammad's a pedophile. Okay, yeah, he married a 9-year-old girl, which I find repulsive. Okay, by that standard, the Jews, the age of consent was 3. You know, the guys you've been backing this whole time. 3. And when a daughter was born, they buried her. They buried babies. And then Muhammad was with that girl until he died. Or until she died. Her whole life. I won't shrug away from the truth. I know I'll lose, but you're defending the No, I'm not. You're lying, or you're misinformed, or you're misrepresenting stuff. Be out of your own anger. And I'm not going to have these fights anymore. Someone said not true. Said aqua vital. I don't want to do it. There's so much more. There's so much more to discuss. I'm not going to be a defender of Muhammad, guys. It's not happening. And don't put me in that corner where you slander me and you attack me. Yeah, Jesus is my guy as well, Daniel. But I'm not going to act like the action of a liar. Like to say I don't know if it was an angel or a demon. Maybe it was a demon. Maybe it was a demon. But the liar just simply says angel. 9-year-olds, dude. 9-year-olds aren't enough to decide marriage. Okay, before we get started on Rome, today we're going to talk about Rome. I'm going to dismantle all libertarianism and anarcho-capitalism. It'll take me 5 minutes. You want to talk about age of consent? You open-minded fools? And then we'll get into what we're going to talk about today, which is who is above the Jew. Okay, I'll look in... Keep speaking the truth, Big Bear. I will. And true Christians don't back away from what I'm saying. Because they know in their heart they love Jesus. They know in their heart the truth. You're not going to have to misrepresent reality or history in order to win a silly game in your head. Muhammad kept his first wife and didn't marry another until her death. Right. So, yes, 9 is way too young, guys. Given the fact the age of consent at the time was 3 for your clip-dick saviors, okay? And usually when a girl was born, they buried her and killed her. You're misrepresenting reality. And I hate that. Okay, here we go. Okay, anarcho-capitalism is a stateless society with no laws where let me just quickly run this down and then we'll go. Where the individual is sovereign and no one has a right. This is according to Stefan Molyneux, and it kind of freaks me out that he's never addressed this issue. I really hope he addresses this issue. Maybe someone can send him this video. Where there is something called the non-aggression principle, where you don't have the right to inflict on another. Sounds great in principle. I'm now seeing that it is probably evil. How do you stop an 8-year-old who wants to get $1,000 for sucking an old man's dick? Go. In the chat, I'm watching you. An 8-year-old that says, "Please, sir, I want to suck this old man's dick for money." And the old man's like, "Yes!" How do you stop that? Go. I know they're here. There's already 1,300. I know that there's not going to be as many people here today, which is fine with me because it's earlier. But let me know. Nothing yet. Kill them. Right. Well, that's my thing. Faith isn't. It's all about Jesus Christ. Right. Well, there has to be God, or else there's nothing. Burn them both. Right. Exactly. But no, not both. The man. Consequences. Right. No, but. Just stay with me here, guys. Don't just say kill him. I know, that's what I would do. That's because I believe in punishment for immorality. The old man's aggressing since the 8-year-old can't consent. Okay, thank you for falling for the first trap. What is the age of consent and why and who enforces it? Go. What's the age of consent? 9, 10, 11, 12? When do I stop? Say stop. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Say stop. And Stefan Molyneux, whose mother almost beat him to death, should know better. Okay, go. What's the age of consent? Who enforces it and why? Go. Nothing. I'm a libertarian, so you know I'd say God wants us to follow. There is no God in libertarianism. There is no God. 18, 16, 16. Okay, why? And who enforces it? Go. No, guys, the moral people, you don't need to participate in this. This is only for libertarians and ancaps. You can say 16. 18 is the law. Okay, there is no law in a stateless society. Age of accountability. What makes you accountable? 16, 18, 18, 25. 25 when the brain becomes an adult. So 24-year-old Stefan Molyneux can still be kept in his mother's home? Go. Explain that one. Consent after marriage. Well, that's what I believe, but that's Christian. Go. 18, why? 21, why? A private community society enforces it. That's breaking the non-aggression principle. So a small government of community enforces it how? So an 8-year-old says, a 12-year-old. Let's make it more complicated. A 14-year-old wants to suck a 70-year-old man's dick for $1,000. How do you enforce it? You enforce it yourself? Who do you enforce? The kid wants to, and the old man wants to. When a child is groomed, they don't know that it's wrong. We're all groomed on some level for something, whether or not the fact we commit to language. I mean, I think human beings can enter a realm where we don't even need language. That's just me. 14 or puberty, when certain changes happen, society enforces it. What is society? And what is puberty and why? What if someone never goes through puberty? What constitutes puberty? Fertility? Larger breasts? What if someone's infertile for life? If someone's infertile for life, can they never consent? Go! You can't enforce it if the age of consent is too low. What makes low and high? Go! You can get emancipated at 14. Someone just says 12. Why? Are you the king? Are you the ruler? Are you the state? Go. Where there is no state, you can actually form a sort of communistic private society. The non-aggression principle says you cannot stop a sovereign individual from engaging in commerce. An 8-year-old says, I have a service. I want to suck an old man's dick. And the old man says, I want my dick sucked from an 8-year-old for $1,000. What stops that? Tradition? No, that breaks the non-aggression principle. There is no tradition without Christianity in our culture. Go ahead. I just dismantled the entire philosophy. Yeah, so consent is the wrong measure. Smokescreen. It's marriage, guys. It's marriage. That's why Muhammad married that kid. That's less evil than anarcho-capitalism and liberalism. According to Christian values. So, hey, Prager Force and Shapiro Queero, stay the fuck out of my comments. Truth is truth. You can't argue against it. So tell me, what stops an 8-year-old from sucking an old man's dick in a stateless society, fucking Stefan Molyneux? Go ahead. The natural law, that's Christianity. Go. Without believing in God. How do you say something is wrong? You can't. Go. Stop the parents who raised the child. At what age? At what age? That's what I would do. An 8-year-old wants to suck an old man's dick for money. The old man wants to. What do I do in my morality? One bullet to the old man. Child gets rehomed because his parents failed. Okay? Why? Because I believe in Christianity. Okay, a stateless society. I just broke 2 acts of the non-aggression principle. Right? I will remove that kid from a house that grooms him to suck old man's dicks. Right? And the parents say, no. I say, fuck you. You want to die too? The old man gets a fucking, some medicine to the back of the head. And then that's over. Now, how does Stefan Molyneux end that? With the non-aggression principle. How do you stop an 8-year-old sovereign from enacting his right to service with an old man that also wants the service with money? How? Go. Japan age of consent is 13. Right, it's an arbitrary age. The age of consent is marriage. Go. Explain it. There's 2,174 people here. Libertarianism, liberalism, yeah, it's all nonsense. Aggression is necessary. Yes, it is. How do you enforce the law? There is no law in a stateless society. Why should we care? I don't know. If you don't care, well, what? Then you're not even allowed in anymore. If you don't care about the well-being of a child, you don't get to participate anymore. Child labor laws, that breaks the non-aggression principle. They're already against it. Child labor in China, they're all about. If a child wants to work, why would you stop a child from working? I worked at 9. I didn't suck an old man's dick at 9 for money. I'm just kidding. 16, the clip and 1 of the hole. The parents decide. The parents decide. Okay, so at what age does the child get to speak for himself? Go. Bible talks about age consent at 7. Well, it's 3 in the Talmud. Yeah. When you see an anarcho-capitalist and a libertarian, just ask them this, and then say, if you can't answer it and you remain that, you're a pedophile. Means no rulers, not no rules. Who enforces rules without rulers? Go. Who enforces rules without rulers? Answer that. Do you know what a rule? Do you know creation comes from what? A creator. A rule comes from what? A ruler. Go. After the father kicks him out of the house. So if the father never kicks the groomed pedophile child out of the house and keeps him till he's 40 on a leash in the basement, who stops that? Go ahead. The strong, right. Exactly, Chad. You're on my team on this one. The people, LOL. I know. And the fact that I'm starting to suspect that he's ran through this in his mind and has no problem with this, very, very, very creepy. Commune rules. Okay, that's communism. The fear shall, do the Amish have rulers? Yes, God. Killing pedos is saving them from themselves. Yes. Guys, I am for killing pedophiles. Not torturing them. Killing them. I'm dismantling a stateless society argument. And no one can back up what they have. Not thousands of people right now. Thousands. How do you stop Desmond the groomed from dancing in a bar for homosexual pedophiles for money in a stateless society, in an amoral society, in a society without Christianity, without God? How? We the people. Yeah, that's called breaking the non-aggression principle. Don't make me become your Christian king. The libertarian would say the laws and police should be hired to do your bidding. Right. They're trying to backdoor it. Stephen Molyneux is gay. Stephen Molyneux is gay, but at least he gave his wife a baby. Right. I actually like him personally. I just find the philosophy disgusting. Dave Smith is a libertarian. Right. And if I presented him this argument, I guarantee he'd change his mind on it. Because he's a moral man. They should be in prison for life. No, the penalty for raping a child is death. Do you need me to become your Christian monarch? I mean, come on. Don't make me do that. I'm having a really good time in my life. Stateless and metaphysical atheism doesn't work. Not only doesn't it work, it's the worst. And that's coming from Stephen Molyneux, whose mom, he should have divorced from his mom when he was 5. Like, his mom beat him almost to death. Because under true ANCAP philosophy, if a serial pedophile who gets children to say they want him, you can't do anything to that guy. That's a contractual exchange of goods and services. The Christian can put a bullet in the pedophile's head, guilt-free. Dude, a pedo is violating the NAP, so any violence against him is in violation. That's wrong, Brandon. If an 8-year-old consents to the exchange of blowjob for money, how does that doesn't break that breaks the NAP if you stop him. Well, if he's too young to consent. Okay, 9, 10, 11, 12. Tell me when to stop and why. 13, 14, 15. Why? I don't know. You don't have a basis. You're built your whole philosophy on sand. So Mohammed marrying a 9-year-old is more moral because he married her for life than the ancaps. Uh-oh. Yesterday's stream made me piss my pants. Thank you for acknowledging that I'm still funny. Man, everybody's like telling me that I'm this like truth guy and like I bring him to Christ and everything. And I'm like, I'm still doing some of the best comedy I've ever done, and no one seems to acknowledge it these days. I mean, some of you guys do. You know, my buddies are like, dude, I'm pissing myself with the streams, and other people are like, you, sir, are a disgrace to Christianity, or you are my light. And I'm like, but I'm still funny though. It's just wrong regardless. Why, John? Why? You try to replace God, you end up backed into a corner like I just backed you into a corner, you little doggy. Bitch. Why? Why would you say that it's just wrong? Because God says it's wrong. There's a lot of people alive right now that do not believe that is wrong. In fact, they think, read the literature from the Man-Boy Love Association. There's people right now in your Congress, in your parliament, at your kids' schools, the head of media companies, that think not only is it not wrong, it's sexy to fuck a child. So how do you stop that if you believe in the stupid non-aggression principle? Well, it's just, a child can't consent. What age and why and who enforces it? Oh, you stupid utopians don't ever think through the actual ruling of a nation. Don't make me become your Christian monarch. All right. Does the Bible say 18 shall be the age of consent? No, not even close. Marriage. Guys, marriage is the age of consent. Marriage. Marrying a 12-year-old in an agrarian society is infinitely more moral than fucking a random 18-year-old and never talking to her again. And if she gets pregnant, hoping she gets an abortion. Okay? Think with your heart and your mind. Don't think with like, how can you get... When you stop whacking off and watching porn and you see sex as a beautiful thing with one person, you stop viewing the world so stupid. So if the old man marries an 8-year-old, it's okay? Okay, you're now banned for being dumb. I just gave you marrying a 12-year-old, or okay, let's say 8. Yes, it is more okay. Marrying an 8-year-old and being with them until the day they die in an ancient Stone Age or agrarian society is infinitely more moral than just fucking strangers. Obviously. Or an 8-year-old getting paid to suck an old man's dick. Yeah, obviously. What if the guy is 10? You ever think about that? Okay, what about us? See, people, man, it's so sad. I can't get sad thinking about how little people think. It's like you're trying to become farm animals. Okay, an 8-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy marry, and they're with each other the rest of their lives. Okay, compare that to your current life. You know, the rainbow flag and the transgenderism at your kid's school. Abortion is one of our biggest exports. Okay, if you don't instinctively know, no, people are not stupid. Let me show you something, okay? And then we'll talk about Rome. Man, it's already been a half hour. Okay, look at this. Iceberg, ocean. Iceberg melts, ocean levels remain the same. All right, I know what people are going to say. Oh, just shut up. You can disprove sea level rise from the Arctic ice cap melting with a glass of water on your table. It's not IQ. It's not IQ anymore. It's people choosing to be farm animals. You can literally disprove the global warming narrative with a glass of ice water. Yeah, Jesus was a Christian. Exactly. Don't tell me Jesus was a Jew. That means he committed suicide? That doesn't even make sense. That's a picture of Ebola. I gotta tell you a really funny story about this. What do you think it looks like when you do this? Mickey Mouse. Okay, so real quick before I get into the families of Rome, I was paid $50,000 in 2015 by Disney to write a script. I'm now realizing that I was basically in charge of creating people's reality. But I realized that they kept not wanting my scripts because I posted that as soon as Ebola started being pumped out by the media. Trust me, this is related. And I said, look, Mickey Mouse. And my handler, was like, dude, you got to take that down. Like, Disney right now is developing your ideas. And I'm like, Ebola looks like Mickey Mouse ears. And he laughed. He's a good guy deep in his heart. But he was like, dude, come on, man. And then they didn't want any of my scripts. I got to keep the 50 grand though. But I was like, why would they care? And then I now realize why. It's like, and I don't think it has anything to do with, I think it more has to do with the number 88. And I'll tell you why. But it was clearly nonsense. Ebola doesn't even exist. You know everybody that died of Ebola that they brought into America, which breaks all quarantine protocols, they were all age 33. And for those of you that think that doesn't matter, it does. It's kind of like when a farm animal hears an alarm clock, they have no idea what it is. They're just like, it's just like, man, they're like, bah! That's how we are with symbol a lot of times. That it's right in front of us, and it's so obvious to the people doing it to us, but we just are like, nah! It's very similar with the Hunger Games, you know? They infiltrated the Capitol through the sewers, right? Why does that matter? Because in corpus juris language, which is the ancient language of the Babylonian Talmudic law, goat in all capitals means the sewer. Why does that matter? Because it allows, basically the whole fight of who governs you is about old law. And the law of the oceans, the admiralty law, the law of the seas has been trying to get into the land. So many of you guys are just going to be like, you're so stupid, Big Bear. Just please, for the people that like this stuff, it's very interesting. Have been trying to get into the land for centuries. So the way they did it is through the sewers. Because the sewer is the one connection between the sea and the capital. And so in the Hunger Games, they go into the capital through the sewers, the goat, right? And so that's why GOAT is loosely affiliated with Satanism. That's why so many of your current enslaving papers are based around sea law, like what governs ships. Your birthday. It's fascinating, guys. Your birthday. And that's what gives you its corpus juris over Magna Carta. And so it's basically corpus juris is the jurisdiction of the dead, which we currently are. We're considered dead already to these people. And that's because we're in debt. Like when you're indebted, it means you're already dead. Like we could go to jail for no reason. They don't have to give us a jury. Patriot Act, it's like you don't have to face your accuser. If they call you a quote unquote terrorist, they can put you in jail for any reason forever, right? There is no Constitution in America at all. So all you libertarian ancaps have the Constitution. No, there's God and there's Satan. There's good, there's evil, there's natural law, and there's those that blaspheme that law. You're not going to fight these people. They spy on all of us? Yeah, guess who else does? God, but it's not called spying, it's called governing. All right. Prayers, focus, attention, right. Shot. Exactly. They can't create. Only God can create, and those who follow God can create through God. When I say I can create, it's through God. God is the creator. Satan is the manipulator. Right? Can you see it? Can you see it now? 88 is the age of consent, right? No, I'll show you what ebola was. So you have some of these old families. And it goes so much above the Jews that it doesn't even matter. Like the family names Rosenbergs is similar to Roseni, and it all comes from the Rosicrucians, which have the rose on their, it's so dark. I'm just going to dip into this for a second and then I'm getting out. It was the ancient family of the alchemists. And a lot of Rosicrucians, the Rosy Cross, are now in charge of the FDA and big pharmaceuticals, because alchemy is it's the magic of giving you poisons and spells and stuff to affect your psyche. So the Rosicrucians are literally in charge of the FDA and vaccines, all that shit, right? And the reason they're called the Rosicrucians is because they, the Jewish Rosicrucians, the Italian, it doesn't matter. The thing was the rose was above all of it. And then I'm out. I don't want to get involved in this. Okay. They were part of spreading the Black Plague in Wells. They've always been alchemists. They've been into poison and manipulation through magic potions. This is all real. So the whole plan for Ebola, and this is documented, guys. This is why it didn't work. So whenever you think despair, understand that these people fail all the time. They drummed up this fake Ebola thing in 1914, 1915. There's video of me on the internet mocking it. Speaking helps. My will was part of the unveiling of this nonsense, because you need mass silence and mass veil for the magic to work, the evil magic. My joke in 2014 or whenever Anderson Cooper was pushing this shit was, Ebola, what's the death count at, Anderson? It's climbed to 1. We'll check back in an hour. It's been an hour. Anderson, what's the death count at? Oh, it's terrifying out there. It's climbed to another 1. So my joke was, O.J. Simpson is more deadly than Ebola. Ebola killed 1, O.J. Simpson killed 2. O.J. Simpson, the former running back for the Buffalo Bills, has murdered twice as many people as Ebola. Why does that matter, okay? Do you know what the plan was for that shit? They were going to, the Rosicrucians, this is real, guys. You can deny it all you want. This is real. They were going to drum up this pathogen in America and let it out. If you look up every single person who died of Ebola in America, who was brought here from Africa despite the concept of a quarantine, was 33 years old, right? I don't know why they have to do this shit, but they just do. So they were going to release a vaccine for Ebola that was poison, that was going to kill everybody in 2016. That's why the Ebola virus itself is 2 8s. Look, 8, 8. I thought it was Mickey Mouse. I knew it was something stupid. That's not a real thing. That's clearly bullshit. And so they keep having to throw out bullshit, and if people buy it, they die. And so when people say it doesn't matter, it does matter. If enough people had bought that bullshit, we could all be dead, literally. And big bet. There's a Japanese movie about a virus outbreak called Virus 88. And so they combined it to 2016. They were going to literally kill. They were trying to kill everybody with vaccines. So AIDS is a joke too. The medicine kill people. Exactly. Zika as well. Exactly. It's all from Rosicrucians. And it's from the Rosenbergs and the Rosanellis and all this shit. That's why when I say don't pin it all on the Jews, I'm not saying that for political points. And I'm not in danger for saying this shit. I've thought about that too. They don't care. They're in a different game. They're not in the truth game. They're in the power game. Okay, that's Liar Cohen, okay? His literal name is Lior. That means harp. What is he? He introduced rap to the blacks. Do you understand? His name is Harp Cohen. That's why the more educated you are in actual knowledge, not school knowledge, but like, what do words mean? Learn Latin. I never learned Latin. I'm trying to start learning Latin. But it's like the liar. I thought it just meant liar, like he's a liar. It means harp. It's so interesting. And vaccines are meant to lower your immune system, your children's immune system. That's why if they've already had immune vaccines, which my kids did, have them run outside barefoot a lot. You can beat it. It's not over for you. I struggle with that a lot. I struggle with even talking about being against vaccines because if I was wrong, people could die. I'm not wrong. Vaccines are horrible. But it's not a prison sentence, death sentence to your kids. Just have them run outside with no shoes on. I know that sounds crazy. Doesn't matter. If you think it's crazy, then don't do it. It increases their immune system and can rebuild it to the point where it didn't even matter. You can beat it. It's not as sexy as I think some people want. It's not people sitting around a room being like, oh, I mean, some of the Jews do, because I think some of the Jews still have souls. That's why I think I fucking think they're the worst. Because some of these guys at the ADL and SPLC are still alive. They're like, how are we going to take down the white population? Oh, the true evil has no will at all. They're just mold. And the Jews aren't that yet. The level of the Jews is the most annoying because unlike some of these old black nobility families, the black of mold, they still have a choice. And they're just like, oh. And I'm like, guys, like, you don't have to follow the 17th Duke of Austria. And they're like, but the money, oh. And I'm like, duh. I'm 88 years old. How double dog dare? You're bigger and more profound than the comedian that you rep. No, I'm still a comedian! No. My next special, I think it's going to be called Just a Comedian. They want us money that doesn't exist with interest. Right, it's death mold. And it has no will. It just reacts according to who sprays bleach on it. And the answer to it's around us all the time. What kills mold? The light. Corpus means body, right, but body, not human, not alive, not soul. It means cadaver is a synonym. Cadaver. Does anyone say, hey, you've been working out? Wow, what a nice cadaver. It means unanimated body. Like, look it up before criticizing me. They stopped teaching Latin in the 70s. Right, I wonder why. Because the Jews don't want you to know the marching orders of the dead. Owen is so based, I'm laughing and nodding like a lunatic. The Jews are like the daywalkers between the living and the oh my God, did you just say Jews? Guys, this goes so much. This is so high stakes at this point. It's about your soul. And when you realize you have an immortal soul, these words don't do anything. Anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism. Okay, are these guys anti-Semitic? Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. How about those guys? Are those twirly fucking bearded, cheese-hatted Jews that say give back to the Palestinians the entire land, give back to the Palestinians? Authentic rabbis always oppose Zionism in the state of Israel. Is that anti-Semitism? These fucking clip dicks? No, of course not. It's a made-up word. But I get to say the Jews because I like making fun of the Jews. Because they're this close to being awesome, but they just refuse to acknowledge what they did to our guy. Just say you're sorry. Like, just admit you shouldn't have killed Jesus or convinced the Romans to do it. Stop doing Talmudic fucking law finagling. Stop finagling, Jews. It's only hurting you. I mean, he runs out. He was a common criminal. We didn't do it. Pontius Pilate. I mean, just admit it. Just admit you did a bad thing and move the fuck on. Why don't they accept Jesus as Messiah? The least they can do is admit that killing them was a bad move. The least. Literally, the least they can do is say, hey guys, are bad. Or you don't even have to take the blame if you didn't do it. But you have to say that your lineage shouldn't have killed our guy. Let's end the Hatfields and McCoys. And by hat, I mean the small hats and McAwesomes. the small Hatfields and McCoys. The small Hatfields and McCoys. But they didn't do it. Okay, yeah, okay. Keep telling yourself that. Yeah, keep digging a hole. Ponzi scheme. The Jews even named their own scheme after an Italian. How tricky and obvious can you get? The biggest Ponzi scheme in America was done by a guy named Weiss. Before Ponzi. And then they name it Ponzi to deflect and sneak. Always. We fucking think of the Jewish pyramid scheme, which is actually Babylonian, I get it. But we call it a Ponzi scheme because even that they had to sneak out of. All right, let's open some fucking mail. I've been getting way more into gardening. Good for you. Take your shoes off too. Build up that immune system. This is from a troll. This is definitely from Faggot Bear. I can tell by the pathological handwriting. and the condescending $2. All right, no one cares. Literally no one cares at all. This is funny. This is also from Faggot Bear, but at least this one's funny. It says it's from Steven Crowder. Dear Big Bear, I just wanted you to know that I still love you, but you hurt me by telling everyone I'm gay. But I'm gay for you, Owen. By the way, this is from a guy who hates me, but it's still funny. You are my big bear, and I am your little bear. Oh, that's so creepy. My son watches the fucking show Little Bear. He did all the eyes with a heart. I'm gonna finish it. It's funny. I believe that the moon landing was fake just to be able to spend time with you again. I just want to feel your strong hands on me and hear your sweet voice and your jokes. Please call me, Owen. We can make it work and no one has to know. Your one true love, Stephen Crowder. And then he left a note. Good for one dumpster pump. Love, Stephen. And that's from a guy who hates me. But it's still funny. Hey. Who is this infamous faggot bear? Just a guy who trolls me endlessly by giving me a condescending $2. It's too hot for clothes, idiots. That's why you need a husband, idiot. If you're on your like my wife will like do gardening and shit in a bathing suit. She's not going to the fucking mall in that, and she's got an alpha male fucking lunatic just scouring the fields. But when you're out in public around a bunch of animals, guys, as the immigration and the migration patterns continue, you will become much, much, much more aware of all of this stuff. When you see literal animals just in the mall, like, that's when you're like, covered up, covered up. You can only dress like that in extremely high trust societies. Ladies, you're going to get a hard R, rape, if you dress like that in the not so distant future, right here in America. Right here in America. A hard R. It's a hard rape. Gang rape, probably. If you dress like that in the day. If you go out without a man dressed like that in the day, within 8 years, there will be a high chance you will be raped. And then you'll be like, oh, and you'll be so fractured emotionally, you won't even know if it's right or wrong. That's the worst part. Because by that time, you'll have complied to so much maritime law that you're going to be like, what is it? What do I do now? Do I just get another vaccine? And then you'll be dead. Like not in the not so distant future from that. So why don't you stop all of it now? And guys, like I'm already prepared for that future because I'm establishing my own protection in my own land. And I pay the corpus juris. I give them what I owe them per contract. So the fucking scary guys don't go and hunt me down. You know, just always view the world as clearly as you possibly can. Trump. And don't forget, everybody, when socialism actually comes, we're all going to be super thin and ripped because of starvation. Leftist fitness. Okay, I'll show you the original leftist fitness that I did. Amy was still pregnant, so this must have been a while ago. I think in terms of Amy's pregnancies. Well, that was 4 months before the pregnancy. I'm so bad with time. Probably because time doesn't really exist. But, all good. Oh, real quick. I've realized since... It's funny watching these now. I'm insanely smart too. Good for you, Kimberly. Oh, your name's Kimberly? Not as smart as you think you are. Anyway, well, statistically, probably not as smart as you think you are. Unless Kimberly's a man's name. Time exists, otherwise we wouldn't age. I'm not getting into it, Mr. Q. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I make all these videos and all these right-wing neocons think that I'm their guy, when in fact, I just hadn't assessed their ridiculousness yet. And so then when I started mocking them, they were like, but, Big Bear, you mock the leftists so well. I thought you were our guy. I'm like, I'm not your guy either. I'm not the guy of liars. There we go. Want to start a war in Iran? I'll start making some funny videos about you too, bitch. Have you ever thought to yourself, I want to get in great shape, but I don't want to try hard? Welcome to Leftist Fitness. You can identify as someone thinner, even if you're fat. Oh, by the way, guys, I was more fat in this than I am now. Suck on that, fucking trolls. Oh, you see my fence wood behind me? Classic bear. This right here is not to motivate. It's a rape whistle. And it's not for me. It's for you. Woo! Do you feel the sweat? Even if you're... Someone just said, Owen, I wish you'd do more of these. Okay, I made 3 of those for free. What the fuck did you do? I do hours of live streams every day for no money. I guarantee you never sent me a super chat. You never supported. You don't fucking sign up for on. I wish you'd do more of these for free. I released 3-hour specials this year. It's unreal. You just want more, Gollum? You fucking Gollum? I made 3 versions of that on my own dime. You paid me nothing for it. Jesus. I'm my own writer. The ungratefulness is just it's overwhelming. I wish you would do more of the funniest shit I've ever seen. I'm not Comedy Central, Viacom, blah, blah, blah. I have a budget of 0. You know, I just wish you'd make more of the funniest comedy in the world that you put out endlessly for free. You fuck. God. That person doesn't even know how they sound. Let's continue. Brave. I had to get a guy to drive up from Portland, and I had to pay him out of my own pocket to do this for free so that you guys can laugh. And what do you say? More! Go fuck yourself! Me. Now your life's over. I never met you, but that's okay. The dentist who shot a... Somebody just said, chill, dude. Just go get more money from your big money people. I don't have any money people. You want to know how much I made today? Like $30 from just random dudes. Big money people don't support guys that don't support big money people. You fucking retard. Sorry, I gotta calm down. Just go get money from your big money people. I shouldn't read the comments, but then I wouldn't have the pulse of the Bears. I mean, you would never say this shit to my face. There would be a beating. It would be a beating that would make the birds scared and fly out of all the trees. They'd be like, beating, Big Bear's beating the... I'd just be like, ground and pound! What the fuck did you do today? I don't have big money people, dumb fuck. People send me drawings of their dick and say, fuck you, Big Bear. That's what that one guy did that I don't read his fucking mail. It's a drawing of a dick and it tells me to fuck off. And then, what do you want? You want more? Okay, fuck you. I am. Woo! Do you feel the sweat? Even if you're not sweating, which I know you're not, you still are because feelings. Leftist fitness instructor. Someone said, what did I do? Bro, I have an actual job that I have to do 70 hours plus a week. Well, Uncle Jeezy, you're now banned. An actual job. Okay. I help people acquire the strength to build an American family. What's your 70-hour week job besides sucking off gay guys? Like, this isn't a real job. Like, what I'm doing doesn't have a purpose. This isn't work. This isn't a job. Have you ever edited a video, you little child? No, I mean, I work 70 hours of work with a real job. This is a real job, you dumb cunt. Hundreds of babies have been born because people are like, oh, I finally realized I should have a family. Hundreds of babies. What's your job do besides get off gay guys in an alley? Fucking dumb fuck. You mad, bro? Well, now you're banned. You're obviously banned for life. You're never allowed here again. I hope it was worth... Oh, you're already been banned. Someone's been a bad little boy. 70 hours of sucking off dudes. All right. Let's open some packages. Nah, fuck it. I'm out of here. You guys are a bunch of fucking assholes. All right. I'm out. You guys want more free shit? Go somewhere else.